From Letters on Yoga, Tome 1, The Supermental Evolution, Sri Aurobindo, Part 1. There have been times when the seeking for spiritual attainment was, at least in certain civilizations, more intense and widespread than now, or rather than it has been in the world in general during the past few centuries. For now the curve seems to be the beginning of a new turn of seeking, which takes its start from what was achieved in the past and projects itself towards a greater future. But always, even in the age of the Vedas or in Egypt, the spiritual achievement or the occult knowledge was confined to a few. It was not spread in the whole mass of humanity. The mass of humanity evolves slowly, containing in itself all stages of the evolution, from the material and the vital man to the mental man. A small minority has pushed beyond the barriers, opening the doors to occult and spiritual knowledge, and preparing the ascent of the evolution beyond mental man into spiritual and supramental being. Sometimes this minority has exercised an enormous influence, as in Vedic India, Egypt, or, according to tradition, in Atlantis, and determined the civilization of the race, giving it a strong stamp of the spiritual or the occult. Sometimes they have stood apart in their secret schools or orders, not directly influencing a civilization which was sunk in material ignorance or in chaos and darkness, or in the hard external enlightenment which rejects spiritual knowledge. The cycles of evolution tend always upward, but they are cycles and do not ascend in a straight line. The process, therefore, gives the impression of a series of ascents and descents. But what is essential in the gains of the evolution is kept, or, even if eclipsed for a time, re-emerges in new forms suitable to the new ages. The creation has descended all the degrees of being, from the supermind to matter, and in each degree it has created a world, reign, plane, or order proper to that degree. In the creating of the material world, there was a plunge of this descending consciousness into an apparent inconscience, and an emergence of it out of that inconscience, degree by degree, until it recovers its highest spiritual and supramental summits, and manifests their powers here in matter. But even in the inconscience, there is a secret consciousness which works, one may say, by an involved and hidden intuition proper to itself. In each stage of matter, In each stage of life, this intuition assumes a working proper to that stage and acts from behind the veil, supporting and enforcing the immediate necessities of the creative force. There is an intuition in matter which holds the action of the material world, from the electron to the sun and planets and their contents. There is an intuition in life, which similarly supports and guides the play and development of life in matter, till it is ready for the mental evolution, of which man is the vehicle. In man also, the creation follows the same upward process. The intuition within develops according to the stage he has reached in his progress. Even the precise intellect of the scientist, who is inclined to deny the separate existence or the superiority of intuition, yet cannot really move forward unless there is behind him a mental intuition, which enables him to take a forward step or to divine what has to be done. Intuition, therefore, is present at the beginning of things and in their middle, as well as at their consummation. But intuition takes its proper form only when one goes beyond the mental into the spiritual domain. For there only it comes fully forward from behind the veil and reveals its true and complete nature. Along with the mental evolution of man, there has been going forward the early process of another evolution, which prepares the spiritual and supramental being. This has had two lines. One, the discovery of the occult forces secret in nature, and of the hidden planes and worlds concealed from us by the world of matter, and the other, the discovery of man's soul and spiritual self. If the tradition of Atlantis is correct, it is that of a progress which went to the extreme of occult knowledge, but could go no farther. In the India of Vedic times, we have the record left of the other line of achievement, that of spiritual self-discovery. Occult knowledge was there, but kept subordinate. We may say that here in India, the reign of intuition came first, intellectual mind developing afterwards in the later philosophy and science. But, in fact, the mass of men at that time, it is quite evident, lived entirely on the material plane, worshipped the godheads of material nature, sought from them entirely material objects. The effort of the Vedic mystics revealed to them the things behind through a power of inner sight and hearing and experience, which was confined to a limited number of seers and sages, and kept carefully secret from the mass of humanity. secrecy was always insisted on by the mystic.